Phoenix looks like a real estate haven from 1,000 feet up, right? But if you plant your roots in the wrong zip code, you'll inherit flood premiums, heat-taxed roofs, crime surcharges, or weekend party chaos that the listing photos don't mention. I'm gonna walk you through 5 Instagram famous areas, showing you the perks and the pain, so you can land in the desert without feeling the burn. Here's the plan, 5 hot zip codes. For each, I'll give you 3 reasons why buyers love the area and 3 reality checks that seasoned locals already know about and you need to know too before you buy. First stop is Mesa zip code 85201. Think funky coffee shops, bright street art, and the Valley's East End light rail station. Here's why buyers rave about this area. The light rail here lets you skip the I-10 gridlock, and you can be at Sky Harbor International Airport without any parking drama. You also have breweries, art galleries, and monthly art walks, which keep the weekends happening and interesting. City Hall is also throwing redevelopment incentives towards Main Street, so those skinny infill lots are sprouting mid-rise condominiums, which is just bringing new development to the area. Now here's the reality check. This area has some crime density. Certain blocks give you a 1 in 11 chance of meeting your local police officer personally. There is also a lot of construction right now. A stalled mixed-use project called The Grid just restarted, so single lane closures are going to haunt Main Street for at least the next year. There were also some tax increases here. Voters approved a $250 million park and public safety bond, which ends up being around $50 a year tacked on to your property tax bill. Now, this is not crippling, but it is also not just coffee money, so it's something you need to know about. Bottom line here, if you can navigate traffic cones and crave an artsy car light lifestyle, 85021 delivers. If safety rankings sway your insurance quote, look a few miles north to 85213. Next is Peoria's 85345. Which is home to Cactus League Baseball and budget-friendly bungalows. Now, 3 things to love here. The Padres and Mariners spring training games at the Peoria Sports Complex. Plus, the P83 Entertainment Loop, where you'll find lots of retail and dining options. And here, your property tax bill reads more like a car payment rather than a mortgage, meaning they are pretty low and will definitely be lower than Scottsdale or Chandler for the same square footage. And that Loop 101 gives you access to most West Valley tech companies in about 20 minutes. Now for the but FEMA redrew the floodplains, and large chunks of 85345 will slide into Zone AE later this year. What does that mean? If you carry a mortgage, you're also going to be carrying flood insurance, which means additional cost. The crime grade here sits at about a C+, which can make your insurance premiums higher. And speaking of premiums, Arizona homeowners have seen a 40+% hike in their insurance premiums over the last 3 years. Add another $1,000 or $2 for flood insurance coverage, and that affordable ranch is no longer really affordable. Final verdict here, great baseball, lots of things to do and places to eat, and the bargains are real, but so is the flood risk price increase. If you want the West Valley minus the additional cost, slide north to the elevated zip code of 85383, which is near Vistancia. Third, let's take a look at Gilbert's 85233, equal parts foodie haven and suburban postcard. Here's the sweet stuff. 30+ chef-driven restaurants, all in the walkable historic district. You have man-made lakes where paddleboards replace weed whackers, and A-rated public schools that recruiters brag about in all the relocation packages. Now, what's not so sweet? Gilbert just voted an all-cash sewer upgrade. Wastewater bills will increase to about $62 a month next spring, which is almost double what people have been paying. That same vote doubled reclaimed water fees as well. So all those HOA maintained lakes and lawns are going to be more expensive to maintain. And guess where that cost is going to be passed on to? The homeowners. The town is in stage 1 drought mode right now, but one more bad Lake Mead report and it's going to be elevated to stage 2, which would mean a mandatory 10% outdoor watering cut. Here in Gilbert, there are lots of lush green lawns everywhere, not just in people's front yards or backyards, but also in a lot of the community areas and public facilities. So those cuts could change the entire look of this area, especially if they make the decision to go to that xeriscape look. My takeaway here, if you can stomach pricier utilities for walkable nightlife and A-rated schools, great. If not, head south to 85298. Newer builds, xeriscape forward, still the same Gilbert pride. Fourth is Scottsdale's 85257. Shackelton. Prime location with heat and party headaches. What's the hype about this area? You have a 5-minute Uber ride to Old Town's galleries, restaurants, nightlife, and bars. And the median home prices are at least 20% lower than the other close zip code to Old Town, 85251. You are also really close to Papago Park's hiking trails, golf, the Desert Botanical Gardens is in your literal backyard, and if you have kids, you are super close to the zoo. The City Council also just approved an ambitious shade and tree plan, which will allow for cooler streets once it's done. What is not hype about this area? Right now, the tree canopy coverage hovers at around 6%, meaning that asphalt temperatures run 7 to 10 degrees hotter than they do in North Scottsdale. There's also a lot of short-term rentals here, roughly 4,000 active listings. The city does require them to be licensed, and there are fees and laws around them to help protect the neighborhoods. Yet the bachelor and bachelorette party volume is still quite enthusiastic. Insurance companies label most of this area as extreme heat, adding a roof fatigue surcharge of 6 to 8%. What's the translation of all of this? Unbeatable proximity to Old Town, but budget for extra tonnage for your air conditioning unit, and maybe noise-canceling windows. Cooler, quieter zip codes up north might cost more, but your Tesla battery will thank you. Finally, Phoenix is 85014, where mid-century charm meets Metro light rail convenience. Here are the draws of this area. The 7th Street dining corridor, with dozens of buzz restaurants, from sushi to a new gourmet burger spot. From here, you have a 10-minute light rail ride to a Suns game, or Symphony Hall, or the offices downtown. The housing in this area is eclectic, from block-built ranches under $500,000 to sleek, modern infill townhomes. Here are the trade-offs here. The market right now is soft, and prices have dipped here by 3.5% year over year. And the average days on market right now in this area is about 70 days. Great if you're buying, not so great if you're selling. HVAC costs here are also spiking because of the new A2L refrigerant rules, meaning Freon for your older system is extremely expensive and hard to get. And if you're having HVAC problems, you either have to choose that or choose to put in a whole brand new unit. And the cost for that has gone up about 20%. Maricopa County logged over 600 heat-related deaths last year, and there just isn't a lot of shade in this area. And for those mid-century modern homes with vintage roofs, your insurance costs will be higher, or you may need a new reflective coating or new full cool roof conversion. The takeaway here is, if you want to live the foodie life on a budget, 85014 absolutely works. If you want a stronger resale pace, slide east to 85018. Camelback views, higher prices, but more upside on resale. Now, if you want to see what Phoenix neighborhoods you should absolutely stay away from, you're going to want to watch this video. As always, I thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.